I started with helping out young entrepreneur startups.
Mm-hmm.
So we started investing in them, and then that's how we created an incubator space. So at that incubator space, we realized that there's a lot of more potential, more than incubator, because a lot of people needs co-working spaces. Back in 2015, when we started co-working, that time there were very few co-working in the country, and the infrastructure they used to provide was too basic.
Mm-hmm.
So we thought of creating the best infra in the market and do something with it.
So the journey since 2015 for till about 2019, so it's about 4 years. So you have right now two offices where you are having one.
No. We have 7 offices.
7 offices.
7 offices.
Seven offices, pan India, right?
Pan India.
So where do you see the future of this particular concept in India? It still looks like to be a very niche concept. Still looks like not everybody has accepted that particular concept yet. But where do you see it's going to go from here on?
So I'll say opposite of what you have said.
Okay.
So co-working has been very well accepted. When we started in 2015, it was a very niche idea. Like, people used to not even know the word co-working. They used to not know the meaning of co-working. But now I think everyone knows what shared office space is, what co-working is, and India has very well accepted it. So we have seen big brands like Ixigo, pharmaceuticals brands, they all shifted from traditional office spaces to co-working within our spaces.
Mm-hmm.
So that was a huge shift. Initially, we only expected startup and tech companies,
Mm-hmm.
but later what we realized that not only but traditional offices are also coming to co-working spaces.
So, how did you got into this? So, your family has always been into a traditional steel industry, right? Which is a very hardcore manufacturing industry where, it says the steel industry is the base of any economy in the world. To a very exciting setup of co-working. How did that idea came to you? What has been your when you thought about it, what were the challenges you faced to implement that idea that point of time?
So I started as an incubator, as I told you in the first question.
Yeah.
But what happened, I converted into co-working because I will say that we entered co-working space accidentally.
Okay.
Because when we entered co-working space, we never wanted to get into it. My family has a lot of cultural and traditional values. My father has a belief that he never believes on rental income. And on the other hand, co-working is kind of a rental income, but along with services, hospitality and all. So initially, for me, the biggest challenge was to convince my father that I can do something which is related to rentals.
Yeah.
Then finding a space in Delhi to start a co-working was very tough. Like, initially when we used to meet the landlords and we used to tell them that okay, we are starting co-working space. So I used to never disclose my background, but as a fresh company and being a co-working space, so they were shocked. Like, how can you rent out a space from someone and rent it out further? Then we used to give them examples of Uber, Ola, how they're doing the fleet system, and that was the major problem, convincing the landlord to get the space back then.
So those challenges have been well addressed that point of time.
Yeah. Now the market is entirely different,
Mm-hmm.
entirely changed, I will say. Landlords have started approaching us. Okay. So each landlord has a co-working division now. Each IPC has a co-working division now. So everyone in the market looks for co-working brands and they want a co-working space in their building. Builders have started marketing their buildings, saying that they already have a co-working sign up.
So when you talk about every owner of a property is right now looking into starting this co-working thing. So what do you do? Do you basically facilitate this whole concept and run it for them, or you take it as a rent on your company's name and then you rent it out, let it out?
So we have all the models. Like, we collaborate with a lot of landlords. we are doing that in another 5 properties for now.
Mhm.
And we also take places on rent and then further rent them out, like further bring them. It's like a hotel. It's like how Hiltons and Marriotts of the world are doing. So what they do is they're managing the property. So we have more become a chain of managing co-working spaces. So what we have also started doing is acquiring a lot of co-working spaces. Last year we acquired last year we acquired another brand from Bombay, and we took over all their facilities.
So, when you passed out of SP Jain and you joined your own company, your own business, as a fresh blood and someone who has got a new outlook into the whole business platform and the industry, what are the changes that you implemented there when you joined, which has basically helped your brand go to the next level?
So when coming back to the steel industry, the family business, I joined my business when I was 17 years old.
Oh, okay.
Soon after my high school, and along with my graduation. So I used to go to my college morning till 3 in the afternoon, and after 3 to 8 or 9 I used to be in my office. So when I was visiting my plant, I was getting training over there. So at that time I noticed that the billets, I'm talking back in 2010, the billets which comes out of the caster, they are cooled down. So they come out at 900 degrees Celsius and they're cooled down to maybe 100 or 50 or whatever the room temperature is. And then they're reheated, they cut in small pieces and then reheated again to 1100 degrees and rolled. So I was like, why do we do such a waste of energy? Why can't we save that cost? Probably. So we started working on that idea, and we did 3-4 trials, and we could realize that something could be worked out. We were the first one in the industry to do that. And now I think over maybe it saves more than $300-400 million a year for the industry.
Okay, so there's been so you basically have done a transformational work which has changed the way that the industry
operates.
Yeah. So there has been one of the biggest achievement that you have got into this particular, not only your company but the industry.
Yeah, so we did with our own company, but everyone followed us because it became a common.
So you became a leader in, and people started following in this particular concept.
So it became a better technology now. So it's called direct rolling.
Okay. Besides these two, co-work and your Bindal, anything else that you have designed or you have started which is totally different?
A lot of things. Few we are not disclosing at the moment.
Okay. So, your leadership, so you have been, so you said since 17 you have been with your company when you were 17 years old. And obviously, you said 2010.
2010.
So it's 9 years. From a young boy to a grown-up man now you are. What kind of transformational leadership change that you have seen in yourself, which has probably helped your company also?
So there is a major change. 17 is again a teenage.
That's what I was asking. So it started at a very young age. Yeah.
Very young age. And my family always brought up us very down to earth and very subtle. So when I joined the business and I see the realities of the business, I was a little high-headed in the beginning. And but I can see a lot of change. I think leadership is all about taking people together. Initially, I used to not gel a lot with the people, but now I think they love me. I can say that.
So what? So one last question: what are the changes that you see in the steel industry that's happening, which is gonna be probably, see, world. I mean, in some countries, obviously, some of the steel industries are really going through a downside, tough times, downsides, and all. India is still doing very good. So, what are the things that you feel that the industry will still see an evolution or changes in India?
So it is seeing already. So industry, like I'll say, India is also facing a tough time or faced a tough time. So 2010 till, I will say, 2012 until 2015 was very bad for the industry. 2012 to 2015 was the hardest time people have seen. 2016, 17, 18 has given some relief, but a lot of consolidation has also taken place. Like you can see, Tata has acquired Bhushan, Mittals are, so a lot of others are also.
So the consolidation
has happened, and the problems is all about, it's about a global thing. So it's a majorly to do with China.
Yeah, so they're coming up with some.
So we all have, to protect India, we all have to work with the government to protect us from the foreign competition.